The current system that's in the law simply says that while an investigation is pending, they don't disclose that they're investigating, and then it's tabled in Parliament when they've completed their investigation. It becomes a public document. And if they were working efficiently and conducting their investigations on a timely basis, you would have a steady flow of newsworthy material coming to Parliament.
The Integrity Commission over the last 3 years have tabled annual reports to Parliament, and they have made some far-reaching recommendations. We speak about the issue of corruption in Jamaica, and they have made some far-reaching recommendations to address those issues. I know that there's a committee dealing with it in Parliament, and the comments have been made there. But as a party, I'm not sure if I've heard the PNP really addressing some of those recommendations and concerns that the members of the Integrity Commission have raised, and they have made it clear that at the end of the day, these recommendations are in keeping with the fight against corruption, or to reduce it. But as I said, I've not heard much out of the party in terms of what the Integrity Commission is trying to achieve in fighting corruption in the country.
On that latter issue, I was the main architect of the Integrity Commission. The legislation was developed in the Ministry of Justice when I was minister. It started out of an advisory committee that I appointed to develop a single anti-corruption agency, because we had a fragmented system before. And the advisory committee, which had on it, I won't bother get into who's on it, but it had good people on it. It was looked at international examples, models for this, and we came up with a construct, and I brought the bill to Parliament. It went through a joint select committee, then we lost an election, it was never passed. The JLP brought it back. They made one main adjustment to the structure, which was to essentially put a CEO position. Before there were 3 directors who were co-heads, and then the commission on top. They put another person in between, and that was their main contribution to it. So it passed. We fully support it. It provides for sharing of information between law enforcement agencies and tax agencies of the state and the Integrity Commission, and vice versa, and with the police. So the flow of information within those agencies of the state that are looking at corruption is facilitated. Before that there were all sorts of problems, and they weren't sharing information, and that had been a main reason why they were so ineffective. Now, some of what the Integrity Commission has come to Parliament with relates to the content of statutory declarations. I don't want to comment on that issue today, but suffice to say that that is being reviewed by members of Parliament and senators. I suspect that some of the ideas may be endorsed, and some of them may not be endorsed. But apart from that, the work of the Integrity Commission is much wider than reviewing statutory declarations. They're supposed to be investigating corruption, information and intelligence that reaches them around corruption, and there's a lot in the public domain that comes at us almost weekly for them to grapple with. They have the right to prosecute. They have a director of corruption prosecutions who is autonomous from interference, other than from the DPP, who under the Constitution can stop a prosecution if the DPP is so minded. That's a power that they...
Are you disappointed there is no prosecution to date?
I'm disappointed that they're not having more of an impact. You know, I think they're a bit focused on this so-called gag clause urged on by the Gleaner. The current system that's in the law simply says that while an investigation is pending, they don't disclose that they're investigating, and then it's tabled in Parliament when they've completed their investigation. It becomes a public document. And if they were working efficiently and conducting their investigations on a timely basis, you would have a steady flow of newsworthy material coming to Parliament. What is...
There's a bit, but there are legacy investigations from 2010, 2011.
Yeah, they need to wrap those up. Yeah, and they have been.
Hardly any few from recent, like within the last 5 years or so.
Yeah. Well, there you go. But there's lots of stuff worthy of being investigated. So if I was to rank how they're operating, I'd like to. I personally would feel that we ought to see more of the effect of the investigations that they're doing, and we haven't seen any major corruption prosecutions since they had that power. I mean, they will prosecute people for late filings and so on, and often there are extenuating circumstances for that, and those issues get resolved.
Hardcore.
Yeah, but the real gungo, so to speak, we want to see that. So until I see them delivering on that, I'm not going to feel that it's really achieved what we'd all hoped it would have. Yeah.